Hello. Hi. Um, Firstly, I'm gonna do a little bit of a test because I'm not sure if the audio is coming on. Um, because I messed up. Hang on. So if you hear like me twice, that's just me like fixing my own damn audio. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Da, 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 da. Yo, me, speak something. Say something. There you go. All right. So I'm coming through, which is good. It's just that I can't necessarily hear like the song or anything. So just as long as I'm coming through, that's good. Hello. I am Creatrix Tiara coming to you from Melbourne, Australia, or the lands of the Wurrung, Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nations. Pay my respects to traditional custodians of the land, and to my elders past and present, and to any indigenous people watching. This as always and will be Aboriginal land. Sovereignty was never ceded. We are here for another Sunday episode of not Genshin Impact. I always forget to like change that stream information thing. We're playing Ace Attorney. We're finishing up Ace Attorney, Justice for All, the Max Galactica case. But you may look at the screen and you're like, who's this dude? This is not Phoenix, right? This is not Max Galactica. Who's this guy? I mean, I'm hoping you know who this guy is. But I didn't mention in kind of like my little promos for this thing that I have some big Darren Hayes news to share, and so that's who it is. If you're familiar with the band Savage Garden from back in like the 90s and the 2000s, he was the lead singer, and then he went solo. And he'd been on a hiatus for like 10 years, and he came back. So I've been a huge fan of his ever since I was a teenager. Moved to Australia because of him, actually, and now I'm a citizen. Followed him around. And in 2011, so the last big show he did before this one, he had this jacket on. That's from the Stupid Mistake music video, sorry. And also, like, his tour had this jacket. The jacket might look super familiar to you, right? Does the jacket look familiar? Does the jacket look like something else that is in the screen right now? Like, say, my PNG tube icon. Well, it's not just an outfit I have for my PNG tuber icon. The PNG tuber icon is actually a take on my Queer Lady Magician outfit. And as you can see, compare, contrast. It is exactly a Darren Hayes cosplay. I saw that jacket in 2011. I was like, I need that jacket in my life. And then some years later, 2017, I got to be one of the dandy minions for Taylor Max 24 Decades of Popular Music, which is an incredible show. It's basically like a 24-hour show about American music history from 1776 until now. And they did a run. Look them up, they're great. They did a run in Melbourne 2017. I got to be one of the dandy minions. It's sort of like an in-between audience and stage kind of person. Probably the biggest gig I'd ever do in my life. And part of it was that you bring your own costumes, and some people like brought their own stuff, like they already had, but I decided I'm gonna go in theme. And so it's like, this is the perfect opportunity for the stamp jacket, right? So I had a friend, in quotation marks, because we don't talk anymore, won't explain help me with the tail coat. It's basically, we found like a jacket at the thrift store, and then he sewed like the tails on it, and I sewed all of those freaking details. I went to like this like a Notion store, who I'm sort of reluctant to say because it's kind of rude, but like I found all these trimmings. Like I tried to stick as close to the original as I get. Like the epaulets, for example, not on my icon, not on my PNG tuber avatar, on his jacket, on my jacket. I stuck to that as close as I could, made this jacket, sewed it by hand for about a month. And mind you, I haven't really done a lot of sewing before this, but I was so determined to get the jacket right. And I got to wear the jacket for Taylor Mac, and it was great. And then a year later, when I decided to put on Queer Lady Magician, the first thing I was sure about was that this jacket had to be a part of it, so it became my magician jacket. But, so it's been like about 5 years since I've had this jacket, right? And like I think Darren has seen, like I've tweeted him like art of it and he said it was nice, but I don't know that, like we never had an opportunity to like see the jacket in person before this, right? And then when he announced his current tour, I bought the most expensive package you could get, which is the VIP/cocktail party. It was like almost $600. I dove through my savings for this. Specifically because at the cocktail party, he does a toast, which is the closest I would get to like a meet and greet with him because COVID and stuff. And I was like, I need this guy to see my jacket. Everything else is a bonus. I need this guy to see my jacket. And so I got the ticket months ago. They were starting selling it like mid last year. Got it the second they were out. And I was like so worried that like, because last year I was so beset by like COVID taking away opportunities from me. So I was worried that this won't happen. But when I got to, like it came. It was last night. And this is, let me see if I can. Yep. So this is me. Yep. Not blonde anymore, but this is me as of yesterday. With the jacket, with the shirt, not the gold of my magician outfit, but the shirt is sort of closer to what he wears in the music video, or like the stage version of the act. But the jacket's still there, so you can see more detail of the jacket. I wore this, like I did, the lipstick sort of half gone because I was eating before this, but like, can't really see in the photo, but I did like the heart that he has on his left cheek and the eyeliner, sort of the crazy Joker face and all that. The hair was incidental. Did not mean it to look like his hair, and also it got tousled by the wind a lot. But yeah, went it full Darren Hayes cosplay basically. And so I go to so he comes to the cocktail party thing as you toast. The first thing he says, he looks like I'm right in front of his face. He's like, "You look incredible." And I think my subconscious like clicked it before I recognized what he said. Because I said, as I told, I was like, "Yeah, it's yours." It's like, "Yeah, it's from my last tour." And then after like it fully registered that A, he's seen me in it, B, he knows what it is, and C, he thinks I look incredible in it. I just fucking died. Once it like hit me. Like this photo was taken afterward. Like he'd gone off back to stage at this point. Mission fucking accomplished. I got this guy to look at my jacket. And thing is, I've worn this jacket places, right? Hey, hello. I don't know if you've heard any of that. But basically, I got this. Oops. Well, yes. But also, I meant this photo. This, oh my god. Here we go. I got this guy, Darren Hayes from Savage Garden. Well, he's sold around. He's been for like a decade at this point. To see me in his cosplay jacket, and he says I look incredible, and I just about died. Mission accomplished. My number one dream. My number one goal. Vision board that shit. I'm gonna like swim on this. Like I even saw a former friend in the audience that like trying to like not get that to me, but like you know what I mean. And the show was great. It's interesting because like his latest album, Homosexual, I'm not as big a fan on. Mostly because the lead singles are all like really happy songs, and I kind of prefer his songs when he's depressed. I mean, not as glad against him. Like I'm happy he's happy. Like he's gone through this whole journey with like coming out and in like, like having to leave his first relationship because he talks about in the show too, which like broke me. Talk about how he and his wife decided they had to separate because he realized he was gay and all that. And this woman there talks about like the cruelest thing he'd probably ever done was like to leave his wife like packing up his stuff. And I was like, I've been there. But just the other way. But no, like I wasn't so much a fan of his latest album, I think, because I liked his moody, darker, weird stuff. And like I noticed when he does songs that are happier, he's not as poetic. And I'm like, on the one hand, Darren, I love this for you. I love that you're happy. I love that you're like feeling yourself. I love that your life is going good. On the other hand, I kind of do like the moodiness of your sad songs better. Not that I'm going to tell him to his face. And I hope he's not watching. I don't know what he'd watch. Like, he's not a fan of video games. There's no reason he'd be on Twitch in the first place. But, I did listen to it. And there were, like, a few songs there that were, like, a kind of weird, moody shit. It was like, aha, yes, I was right. I do like your weird, moody shit better. But it was, like, in live, it makes sense. I think live, it worked really well. I think the only thing I would probably change was that it needed to be in a club. It was in the Sydney Murray Music Bowl, huge outdoor arena type theater. Super fun, slightly stroby. I was told it would be, I was lied to. But, like, there was a section there where it's like, kind of pretty angry. Part of me wanted like artistic directly, a little bit different, but like I could see like sort of he's so salty about Daniel. Oh my god. But like the stuff from his latest record, I was like right, this would work really well in a sweaty nightclub full of gays. Like that's the atmosphere that needs it. It need to be like a small sort of cramped space. Probably hard to pull off post-COVID, but like a kind of like dark nightclub, and there's like the sweaty queer bodies around you, and you're just like immersed in the music. That's the sort of stuff that this music would work really well for, because there's not a lot of like texture and a lot of bass to it. Listening it at home kind of loses like half of that, but like I got like a sense of that at the show. It's like right, and that's kind of like how he pitched the album too. Was a lot of it like sort of, it was very 80s pop, and of course like with the name like homosexual, where else can you go from there, right? So yeah, so it's like okay, I see where these songs make sense. I saw you need this, like, and it's Midsummer, which is sort of like a Melbourne take on Pride. Today was the Pride March, which I didn't go because I was so exhausted from yesterday. It was such a big night, but all of these songs, some of the songs were like freaking deep cuts too. He didn't do anything from We Are Smog, which I'm kind of sad about, because actually the piece where he has his jacket is from a song. It's secret. We Are Smog is his secret project he did in 2007, released in one day, but he sort of re-released it too, so it's permanent if you look it up. But sort of this weird electronic like side project he did. I love that shit. It was so good. There's a song called Hot Tub Blues, which is like kind of a blue. He gets with this bluesy, jazzy voice, and you have no idea it's him, right? Like you wouldn't know it's him if you just heard it without any context. But he does kind of a dance number to this in this jacket, and that's where I saw the jacket and fell in love. And my partner at the time and I was singing along to this song, and no one else around us knew what it was, because he loved We Are Smug too. Because we were just like Hot Tub Blues, Red Hot Shoes. What was it? Let me get the tuning right. Hot Tub Blues, Red Hot Shoes, your needs for some fun, beer and gums. I got a Hot Tub Blues, Red Hot Shoes. Like kind of like that. Like not this tone. This tone is my voice dying, but kind of like that. And the police asked me for some ID. I said, bitch, I can hardly read. So I wish there was some weird smog in there. There might have been. I didn't catch any. I wish it was there. But there was some random deep cuts in like the chorus of All Around Me, which was like a B-side. That was surprised me. I was like, cool shot a day, chill for a day. I'm just like, wow, I did not expect you to put that song in. But yeah, super fun. I would tell you to go see it if you can. Like he's off to Sydney now, I think. But yeah, if Darren Hayes is in your town, because I think he's doing he's in the middle of the Aussie leg right now. I think he's also doing shows in the US, a couple of cities. I think New York and LA, I want to say. Europe, I think, has a few shows, but don't know about Asia. There might be a couple, but yeah, if you get to see him on stage live, it's very much nostalgia bait. It's very much like the show is called Do You Remember, right? It's like sort of a retrospective of his stuff plus the newer things. So it's very nostalgia bait in a lot of ways, and hence I think the deep cuts are there too for like those of us super fans who listen to everything he's done. But it's fun. It's super fun. I just wish it was kind of like I don't know how you would fit like the billion people that were at the Cinema Music. Well, you would get a smaller audience for sure, just by space. But I feel like if this was in a dark nightclub kind of atmosphere, like man, I remember he did a show at Alhambra in Brisbane like years ago. It was like a $60 gig, which not exactly cheap, but like in music standards, but not $600 for the VIP package. It was kind of like that kind of like darker, moody spot. And it wasn't a nightclub, it was a live music gig. And don't remember like super much about the gig, but I remember like kind of the atmosphere. And I think like a vibe like that, like just like bring it back to the clubs, like underground. I think that would be pretty powerful. Don't know that he'd take my pitch for it, but he said I look incredible. That's all I needed. like, well, it's this whole thing that's going on TikTok, like, this is lucky girl syndrome. I'm just like lucky bitch syndrome. Like, I got this, man. This. Anyway, so I think in the promo I said, what does Max Galactica and Darren Hayes have to do with each other? It's the jacket. It's the jacket. It's like Max Galactica does not have my jacket, but I have my jacket. Which is, where are you? Yeah, it's the magician jacket. They're both magicians. Well, Darren Hayes. I mean, it would surprise me if Darren Hayes knew some magic tricks about it. Like, but he doesn't do magic, but he might know a few, just like as a hobby. Don't know. I've never asked him. Never like figured that out. Should have asked him. Do you know any magic tricks by any chance? But it's a jacket. As I said, it's a jacket. It's his jacket. I turned into a magician's jacket, and it's also fail-safe because if he turns out to be a terrible person, which I hope he doesn't. But you never know with celebrities, especially white men at this point. If he turns out to be awful, that's fine. The jacket is mine. I like, you know what? I got the acknowledgement I needed. You recognize it with yours? Great. The jacket's mine. Actually, speaking of which, I remember I wanted to do like a show. Like, this was a decade ago. I had this idea for a show. It was kind of like sort of autobiographical, but using his songs as the soundtrack. Kind of be like, you know, it's the soundtrack to my life. And so it's like the story of my life, but using his soundtrack. His record label, not like the big one, but the small one, turned me down when I asked for the rights because they were like, oh, he's writing a musical. The musical has never eventuated. I don't know they never will. Right? So I'm slightly pissed about that. Capcom were willing to talk to me about the licensing proposal. His record label just like, nah. But he did say in his show last night, this songs belong to you now. And I'm like, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to that. I might do this damn show and then just like find a recording of the exact line. And we're like, well, you say it is mine now. Ha ha. I'm sure that's not how copyright works, but whatever. Anyway, we are here. This is not the Darren Hayes show. It can be, because it's my show. But we are here because we're going to play the finale of Ace Attorney. By the way, hey Marlon, sorry, I saw you come in and I just went off on my Darren Hayes rant. But I don't know if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me. I don't know if you can hear the music. It's the thing. I can't hear the music. It was like fucked up the audio on my end. But we shall see. Will I hear the music? Probably not. I forgot to turn off Elgato sound capture, and I think that sort of screwed over kind of my monitoring. Not that I need to hear the music to play this game, like I don't think this case has a music puzzle. Some do, but this one doesn't. Alright, well, let's see how far I can get into. This is the finale. I'm not even sure, I need the headphones at this point. This is the finale of the Max Galactica case. It's the trial. This like point, as you can see from the fight, it is 4/1-1. There are multiple parts to this. I think it's 2 parts. So we're gonna see how far we can get in one day. If we don't finish it this week, we have next week as always. But let's see. And I can't hear shit because I messed up. Hooray. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a quick fix. Can hear you. Music is faint. Oh, well, I tend to put the music faint anyway because I want it to not overwhelm. But let me see. I can move it up. Because I do have the monitor on a separate thing, right? So I'm gonna see if I can do something funky. I mean, it's good to keep me here. I mean, it's sort of the important bit. I'm gonna do something a little bit funky. Don't mind me. I mean, the good thing about which comes to the finale of this is that I can. Well, let's say I can edit it down. Will I edit it down? I doubt it. I mean, I should. I'm like, I have like no one to blame for my lack of audience, really, except myself. Yeah. Well, let me see. I'm gonna try something. Music is much clearer now. Okay, yeah, I put it up a bit. What I want to know is... Will this work? Yes! Okay, great. I just needed to, like, change a thing. Now I can hear the music, which helps me. And I've thanks for the update. Cool. Okay, so where was I? Just need to change the setting. I didn't get to be amped up with my own like intro music because I couldn't hear it. Okay, fine. Eating an apple. So, let's see if I remember any of my voices while I sound super raspy because I sang my heart out last night. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Honestly, mood. Fucking mood. Like, I heard it said somewhere years ago that excitement and anxiety feel like the same thing. Just, like, actually accurate. But for me, it's less like he seems more morose. I'm just like, holy shit, what can go wrong? What can go wrong? What can go wrong? Like, leading up to Queen Lady Magician, I was so convinced that everything would conspire against me. And there was a period of 2 weeks before the show, a lot of things fell apart at the last minute, and I was like, I don't know if the show's gonna happen. But it did, and I was like, holy shit, we did one. We did like a 4-show season. I was like, yes. But I get it, It's just like, it takes a bit. It's hard to be on, like, immediately. Who's teeheeing? Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. He's a magician, so it doesn't matter, but milk is not great for your vocal cords. If just singing. Regina! Oh, hey! Hello, flock of teeth. You missed me ranting, well, not so much ranting, but raving about Darren Hayes, but you know the story because you saw it on my TikTok, but I was talking about the Darren Hayes saga. How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did! Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that? Yeah, the costume success, yeah. Oh, actually, while you're here, just because Flock of Thieves saw this story over on my TikTok. Just to explain what, yeah, that's the original. That's the original. And that's original me, which you can see sort of the same hair-ish, same jacket on my PNGTube, I think. And this was me yesterday. Cool. Alright, back to the show. Mo say that. So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? Oh my god, this child. It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Hair's very in the clouds. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to ya. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Oh. Top of the morning to you, governor. Top of the morning? That's the ticket! Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. This is not Max Galactica. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Ah ha 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 ha. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Everyone wants to give him a bowl of milk. I think it's actually his favorite drink, so that's entirely a kind gesture you're doing. Oh. What was it in the... Yeah, well, the clown. In the Great Ace Attorney, Soseki Natsume, who is a real-life author, but also a character in the Ace Attorney series, he gets, like, accused of murder, like, a couple of times. And he's very morose, and he talks of it was very early in the morning, and he tells like Ryunosuke, who is Phoenix Wright's ancestor and plays sort of the lawyer person in that game. He's like, they say the early bird catches the worm, but I don't want to be a worm. Honestly though. Oh my, thanks. So how are you today, Wright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Oh, you got it. Yeah. Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. Yeah, we found out last week that his brother got bitten in the head by Regina's lion. And Acro fought the lion and lost use of his legs because of it. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you gonna do then, Dick? What is this with this case and like complicated pressing dynamics? I'm glad they don't repeat this with any other case, but I guess today we'll just have to do with our usual psychological warfare. Bluffing. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Akron to the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. Oh yeah, because Regina's like, oh, my dad's going to be a star in the sky. Like, she's very sheltered. Like, her dad was meaning well, but like, he wants to make sure Regina watches. Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars, and I can't talk. And speaking of which, one of the sort of merchandise things you got for the VIP package Darren Hayes' show was like a necklace rosary thing. It was like Jesus on a cross and the Virgin Mary, which was an odd choice of jewelry because as far as I know, Darren is not super Christian. Like, he might be culturally Christian the way a lot of white people in Australia are, but like, what? Like, there's no Christian iconography anywhere. Your album is literally called Homosexual. Like, what the fuck? Why must he crush? The child, well, the teenager, like, Regina is a teen. Her naivety might have caused a lot of this mess. So, well, one day was like, yeah, so the thing with, like, the lion biting Acro's, like, brother's head, Regina, I don't think has really, like, grasped the seriousness of what has happened. Like, so I think a lot of it, like she's kind of the unwitting instigator of all of this. So, oh fuck! I keep meaning to like listen to more Rep Maisel and I forget. It's been a big week. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise his previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness. Or shall I say, a new eyewitness. The raspy voice is very difficult when your voice is already raspy. You'd say it'd be easier, but I just like sound more like a drunk dude or anything. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off the scene of the crime. Order, order! I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Oh my god. I mean, I just sound like Valley Girl. I don't know how much I sound like Rabazel. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or shall I say time to walk the courtroom tightrope? Hey, that's Acro. His brother's name is Matt. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the very big circus. Were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who he looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared to the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine a witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like Sally posh radical. Just like your old friend, Mr. Malletwood did. Dun dun. Dun dun. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Ms. Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination. I mean, it's not a lot you can cross-examine about this guy, right? Just after 10 p.m. You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? No comment. I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Haha. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Why you give them a judge for? On that time, heard a thump. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside? I was indeed. Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. I mean, they always is, isn't it? But who knows with this case. There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. Oh no, I'm gonna die. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? That hearing a thump outside. Do I actually have contradiction? Hang on. Oops. I don't even know if I do. That's the best. A thump. I don't know. I think I jumped the gun. This. What in the world is this? Ow. You just don't get it, do you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What don't I get? You're not gonna be able to get through this one, your usual bluff routine. Your client looks to be ready to take off once again. Straight towards a guilty verdict. You were bluffing? I will not forgive any more mockeries back at this court! Whoops! Witness, would you mind repeating your testimony? Certainly. Yeah. A large thump noise from around the window. I mean, I guess we don't have really anything that can contradict that, I guess. But are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix, Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth. It's as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Damn, I just drank his testimony. I wonder if accurate statement jives with the facts. I mean, I know what it is. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I could find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. It was Max Galactica. Okay. The light in your room was back turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window? The safety light lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was a person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony. I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong. My issue is that I know what the issue is. I do not know how to present it now. To be honest, when I saw that, I was dreaming. Like, I think I know what the issue is. What did you start thinking about yourself wasn't a dream? That's not important. I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory. Just to make sure let's ask the witness. Ow! Objection. Sustain. Don't sustain that! Acro must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is. Now the challenge would be to expose his lies in court. Well, put the pedal to the metal, Nick. I'm gonna take a risk. I think what he saw was this. No. Where? Objection denied. Like, I know it's that, though. I just do not know how to present that as an issue. I'm going to look up a walkthrough because I don't need to go to this. Like, here's the thing with the Ace Attorney. It's like, I know what the... Especially if you've played this once before. You know, I sort of know what the thing that needs to happen is. I do not know how it's meant to happen. But it's the boss. It's definitely the boss. But I think it has to be when you press him and then it's like... is there something wrong with this situation? Yes, there is. It is that. I'm just gonna look very quickly. Oh no, wrong case. Here we go. Oh, okay. Duh. No. Forgot something crucial. Press. Right. No, I just looked up a walkthrough quickly. I missed a step. Blah, 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 blah. This is also what happens when it takes a week for you between episodes. It's 2 weeks since this information came out. You saw this little cat, huh? The hat. Is there something about a hat? Why do I have the hat? You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Did you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it in Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down at your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat from the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Straight not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Silk hat. Steel hat. Painful. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats? No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means Acro. Then you've been fibbing on stand. Order! Order! As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in his court today? Ha! Well... Ha! Acro did it. Your Honor! On this occasion, defense accused Acro himself. On this occasion... Accused Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Wow, we're going this fast. Okay. Didn't even get there that quickly. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. Ha 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 ha! I think your trip to the circus has served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab an audience's hearts and minds. I mean, legit. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with something smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. Come on, you know in this game the prosecutors are the drama queens. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. I mean, that just makes him more suspicious. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up on myself, let alone leave the lodging house. Don't use your disability, pun intended, as a crutch. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things? It's ableist. How dare you? See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. It is ableist and you are cancelled. She's right. See? Yeah, that's girl, man. Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're trying to draw support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I got a doctor to confirm that Acro is unable to stand on his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter that as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Of course he did. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Well, good, not good isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What? You must not have heard the sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling to your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Mr. Wright, it seems as if Konkarma, how it is issues on a disability could kill someone with a hammer. Is it ableist to assume that disabled people can't be murderers? It seems that you wouldn't be stopping an Acro, but making other accusations. If Acro didn't have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice? It would be this asshole. You don't say. Oh, this one looking very, very bad. Don't tell me you think you're gonna get off easy. What? Oh, did you hear that? Hear what? The sound of you getting caught in your own trap. A monkey. Yeah, a monkey that steals shiny things. What a splendid accomplice. I'm sure this accusation built on solid foundation. Oh, whoops. That's not the correct answer, actually. Look at the walkthrough. Then look, in my defense, the monkey sort of is. Unwittingly an accomplice. Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was an accomplice? Shiny things! Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Oh my god, this is the longest you fucked up. You didn't miss that sun. You missed the Phoenix, right? You know, the son of you receiving a penalty. Ha! Look, it'll be clear once you end the case, but sort of he has. Acro did help. Acro did help. Kind of. Acro did help, kind of. I will get my vengeance on this. Like, there's a reason. There's a reason I said yes. Now then, this must be when Kid hears the mystery accomplice. What? Not this time. One karma. What? What? You're not going to sucker me to this one. Not like I did 5 minutes ago. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acroplan committed this murder all by himself. Order, order. What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. The monkey is involved. I'll have to shout Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? He's weak. I know I can. I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix, right? If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? He was in his room. Meow. Oh. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room? Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room till he killed the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What say you, Mr. Dingling? The birds. The birds did it. It's an interesting theory. That's it. Considering that what you propose is impossible, yes, that's it. Fuck you. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he's in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. I mean, half of that might be correct, but... you've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true! No, he wasn't! Most say that he saw Max, didn't he? Yeah, and then like he rigged a magic trick to fly up, my god. But Maya, it's still impossible humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here. She's right, I can't mess this up. I got this one some serious thought. I'm sure Acro killed the ringmaster, and he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it. Time to enlighten us, Mr. Dingling committed the crime. Yes! Now I can do the thing I was trying to do earlier. I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime and murder against Russell Berry? Oops. Now we get to this point. What's that, a picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's in this picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! See? This is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Ample bust, huh? Motorboating too hard? Order! See? Yep. So you're saying the bust fell on the ringmaster? Poor Max. A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a stuck in a wheelchair, it would be quite a bit easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. I mean, you don't know. Depends on the wheelchair. Well, Acro's an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro. You can't run away from things this time. Ow! I'll watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. He can't run, so does a list. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Well, comma. She's just using this testimony as a rouse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. My God, Von Karma, disability activist. Who would have thought? Thank you. That won't ever sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regards to the witness testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would lead to even more severe injuries. I mean, the guy's dead. That's what I was thinking. What's your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed in my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Alright. Have you ever lifted up the bus before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before? There, see, the monkey's involved! Told you the monkey was involved. Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze as the tightrope. But, you know, you could still, like, keep your body functional. You don't say. But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who asked? I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Oh my god. Whoa, how did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Isn't that a Yogi Bear reference? And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bus out of the window. Next time I get excited, I kind of force on my lower body. How long do you think your recovery would take? You had to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. But it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window. Is it possible to have known? Why did you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window? Thus, there is no way I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you got a point. Hey, Nick? What if you turn things around? Maybe you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust. That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. If all I had to do was drop it, you're right, I could have done that. However, there is no way that I could have a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust. The big problem is how he got to aim for the ringmaster's head. I wonder if he's coming a 2 to aim for the ringmaster. Oh, sorry. That's a ticket, Nick. Show what you got. I have to be careful. I'm gonna find something that fits perfectly with the case. Sorry. Choking on some spicy apples. I don't mind us finding any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something. You would know. Because there is something that would tell you. You had a guide, which is this. Aha! Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. You silly hitting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix, right? Enough stalling, how about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. You have the box. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that victim was found hunched over. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Bear and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean, if the bus were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way they would miss the head of the victim. No. Order. I mean, I guess the question is how did the box get there given his situation, but this is unbelievable. Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here, forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the No, the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then, oh well, that answers my question. And then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip something sense into you. Mr. Phoenix, right? Ah! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed, it had the most peculiar feature. Well, the weight, right? The box had a remarkable weight. Wait. According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. To lift this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body, would you say? I mean, 20 pounds is how many kilos? I have a very bad sense of scale. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles either side, doesn't it? That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head will be in approximately the same place. Fool. Da-da-da. I feel like if there had been like rope marks on the ground, it would have helped this case a little bit. Doesn't even bother listening to me anymore. I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright might have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, Do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Yeah, the cafeteria. What's the even bust? It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. And what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus? This is where the monkey comes in! And this is why we have this stupid love triangle situation to establish this situation. Money the monkey likes shiny things and steals them. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright explained that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. See? I was right the first time. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But there's no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get to the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? He was a monkey. See? I was right. Money was the accomplice. I was fucking right. A monkey? Everyone knows money. He knows shiny objects of any size. Ooh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring. See, that's the only reason the ring is even a factor. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? The bus was bronze, wasn't it? But the bus was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Ah! Acro! Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle it himself, I'll be on... No, I'm getting him on first now. If he wasn't able to handle it himself, I'll be on the market for a new roommate. Order, order, I said order. Miss Von Carver! Where's the bus in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. I know where it is. This is the registration of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain stolen dudes and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we're more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron. Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, it's a little bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow! Those seem so flamboozled. Especially by this fraud and an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah! No, he wasn't. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick! Don't let her beat you now! I won't! This is my chance to turn this trial around! When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. Were there? One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? He saw the bust. He saw the bust. Oops. He saw Max's... I asked who was the other person most on the scene. That evidence had to do with the question. Yes, it does. Au contraire, mon frère. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Most say that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. Dun dun. How is that possible? It's simple, really. One mostly saw that night when Max was bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. Damn, man. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It wouldn't be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot. Who in their own mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? A question of the utmost importance in the case. Do you agree? Duh, he caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? Oh, I think he sort of caught on... Oops. Kind of caught on his thing because he wore it. Because it was cold. Oh, him. He was saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry. That's what I'm saying. God, my voice is dead. Yeah, I mean the victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would it be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box into the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is where the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim, bam! The cloak got caught on the bust. You waited some second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked at his window, the cloak had already snagged at the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Akron actually went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that most of the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And it looks like Max Galactica flew. God, imagine if how this case would have been sorted if Max did not have flying as his magic trick. Like, I have a close-up. Imagine if you could whip a judge mid-court IRL or immediately use your ability to practice law and arrested. Right! Right! The prosecution gets away with so much in this series. Like, whipping is just the beginning of it. And that's how the magical murder disappearing into the sky came to be. Bam, bam, bam. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could have only been you. He's very chill. Most people would break down at this point. He's very chill. He's too chill. Even his bird's not bothered. Acro is playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So I'm not buying a cloak leap into the Fox Phoenix. I think it's more like the cloak got snagged onto the bus. It probably didn't jump dramatically like that. But it's it got caught in it. It hit his head and then it got snagged up. It was just artistic effect and it got jumped on it. There's nothing that says the cloak was very evenly on the bust, right? It could have snagged onto some part of it. You crystals is a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. In this court. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings us a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how they can only want possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then use that and get out of this jam. A contradiction that would be easy to remember if you played this case in one sitting. Present the evidence to the court to back your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic trick. It has to do with this. So, I look at the walkthrough for this because I don't know that I would have remembered what the problem was. But the problem is this. Mo said, like everyone's like he has three symbols, the cloak, the hat, and the two roses. Mo missed the roses. And we were going on this out like it was probably very dark. But if the coat was turned around, probably didn't see them. I guess. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? There goes my roof. Max's silk hat was found on the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat, well, sort of. Fine, you got one. But what about the other contradictions? The other contradiction, remember what that ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnesses white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses, because the boss didn't have them. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Hey, do it, Nick! Or also the cloak is on the other side. What's that? Please recall the incident when the cloak snagged onto the bust. There you go. If the cloak snagged into the bust, what happened to the white roses? They're facing the other way, and so the bust got turned around and you see the back. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged to the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were the back side of the bust. And it was sort of lucky they turned around the way it did. Order, order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's keep going on the road for a while, see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick! Then maybe one come will finally throw in the towel. Da-da-da. Oh, now. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Yes, but... But perhaps you might have gone on the wrong person. Then there's absolutely no one, so like this will kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up till now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel like this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of the Mr. Digley's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. And this stream will take not a 10-minute recess, but a couple of minute water break. So go get some hydration, go stretch. We'll see you in about like a couple of minutes. I just need to drink. Do-do-do. Alright, we're back. I see Merlin and Flock are getting to know each other, which is great. Keep on chatting. Don't let me stop you. Vibe Indicator playing AC. Is that Assassin's Creed or Animal Crossing? Assassin's Crossing. Animals Creed. Let's save. Alright. Back to the trial. Yeah, everyone says Silent is my shooter. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. It's Animal Crossing. Assassin's Crossing. I played a little bit of Odyssey a little while ago. And like, I'm just imagining like Cassandra just like, it's a chill time in ancient Rome. No murders, just like, you're helping people. And you have building little villages in ancient Rome. It definitely is, and I think it was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? I think you were just caught up in it. Like, I think it was accidental. I don't think Acro really has anything out for you personally. Acro tried to pin, oh, I guess, never mind. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did. Well, I disagree, but I can also see that perspective, I guess. but I'm nothing but a little nobody, you know? I played quite a lot in the first game, but I ended up getting stressed out being chased around roofs in the second game. I've only played Odyssey, but there is some, like, I don't think you get chased across roofs, but man, getting chased, trying to like fight one person and then like 500 people show up and like, chill. I'm a sensitive soul. Honestly, same. That's why I play games on easy mode. Although I did like Strikers, Persona 5 Strikers were just like, had the same thing of like mobs of people, but I found like easier to match because you would button mash me out of it. I guess the difficulty. But you're not. It's kind of the reason why. Hey, pal! Is Acro want to Mr. Ringmaster of Regina because of Max? He wasn't targeting the Ringmaster. So, I don't think you were here last week. You might have been. But you find out that Acro has a thing against Regina because, you know, when I mentioned that the lion had bit Bat's head to the point he gets in a coma, that sort of happened because of Regina, for a reason that would get explained later in the game. But Regina was involved with that. And so he gave Regina a threatening letter saying, I know what you did. Come tonight at this time, which happens to be the time the Ringmaster died, and you will get your just desserts or whatever, right? Regina saw the note, but she didn't clock that it was for her, so she just put it on the notice board. The Ringmaster, who was her dad, had seen the note, got very alarmed, and, you know, decided to go in her place, and then the murder happened. So Acro didn't necessarily target the Ringmaster. He didn't mean to, but he can't see he was at the window, as we established. So he probably thought Regina was like, I see a box move. That must be Regina dead. Yeah, he's trying to murder Regina, basically. And I think Max was more like, as he said, the bust was there. And so it was sort of like convenient to be like, okay, no one will pin this to me. People think Max did it. Kinda. Yeah. So, like, it'll explain what the hell Regina did later in the case, in this episode. But, yeah. You ought to continue after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence. Detective Gumshoe. Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? You've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective? Everyone loves him now. Oh, well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned, what is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later, pal. How do you do a New York accent? Wouldn't Miss Karma be mad at you doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on the need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up till now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What do you mean by that? The very end part. I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Don't scare me like that. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk for me? Oh. Yeah, so milk is his favorite drink. So this isn't like some sort of like thing against him. It's actually his favorite drink. But this is like here you come. This is the point in the game where you see like the circus kind of come around to supporting him. But in the anime, because it's sort of like it takes away kind of the love triangle thing and just makes Max the union leader, trying to get everyone a raise. They find that out. It's like, oh shit, he was looking out for us the entire time. And then so they come together. All the circus people come together and try to reenact what could have happened, like how Acro did it basically. And that's sort of the thing where it's like, oh, the circus like respects you now, or like now they understood what you were trying to do. You were trying to show off, you actually didn't give a shit. Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with the Acro testimony, starting with his relationship with the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want an answer to. Oh. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the big circus, Russellberry, took us in. I became an acrobat around 9 years old. I wanted to plan a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course I agree with that. What game do you think this is? Oh. Defense has the right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well. I mean, to be fair, there's nothing there, but we can look at it. Let me just hear him talk a little bit. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, were they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. No crying in court. Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. I'm so touched. The children of today. Oh. How would you describe your relationship? What the fuck, Carl? Yeah, pretty much. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So then how long have you been a performer? Okay, you're an acrobat, 9 years old. You started off as an acrobat at early of an age. I mean, not uncommon actually. I begged the ringmaster after he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We call ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany. Yeah, canonically she's from there. Liar! The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You're truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony, or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Oh, pow. And she bows. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. I think that would be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man will kill you must lead you to believe that it is really unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead with Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? No, because it's not a ringmaster he wants dead. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Your foolish attempt to fool us like the foolish fool who's so foolheartedly foolish. Did you forget you made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Russellberry, Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro. You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? Here we go. I'm saying that the target of witness murder's plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russellberry to begin with. What? Order, order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. I'll smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ah! See, he gets the scolding. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to this court? Are you attempting to apply the acro to kill someone else? Yes! Actually, yes. Actually, this girl. Regina Berry. This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro. You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Phoenix Wright? Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to— Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proof Acro was out to kill this young girl. Well, here's the note I was telling you about. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It is ironically entitled To the Murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russellberry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place his note to someone's jacket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person his note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, that little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. Yeah, there you go, as I said. She didn't clock it was hers. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake. Instead of Regina. That's incredible! Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today. Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina in the plaza. And that's when he let the bus fly. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Nick! Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, he's only going to get Gosher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Man, the stuff you had to hear. And not from Regina. Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? What about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I am more than ready to show this court what happened. The time. Moron. Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is it? Conclusive evidence mentioned in the note. No, I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge's going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence of the 6 months ago is actually... I'm gonna look at this. It's a stated by small quantity of pepper. This is the brother's scarf. This is also a ball of pepper. Achoo! 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 What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix, right? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? The judge is also radical. Recalling the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming that Regina Berry killed someone with a small wad of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tries with his own foolish ways. If you shall show Mr. Phoenix Wright answer this question. Who was Regina's very intended victim? The brother. Who is this? That's Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution is looking to Acro's brother, Sean Ding-Ning. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tame animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Mr. Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? It was more than that. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You are such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited a lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat, because of this pepper-stained scarf. That's just a scarf. Acro. The scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave that to him. Regina? There is something more than just blood on his scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? The bird is a foreshadowing of Dual Destinies, where your prosecutor has a pet hawk or falcon, and the falcon annoys Phoenix just like this. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But after curiosity, what was the crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper covered scarf to Bat as a present. What's the crime in that? It still seems like the judge doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Yeah, she's got it on. Smiling? The lion was smiling right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lions sneeze. What? Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. And there goes his head. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. What? You fool! Then. And you see now why Acro has a thing against Regina. You've got to be kidding me. Objection, what the fuck? What's the matter, Miss Wangama? I object for objection's sake. What the fuck? Mr. Phoenix, right? This theory, you believe it. You really intend to say this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed into the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Akron nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as he put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot. Ha. Ha ha ha. It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats his accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro! You can't mean, witness. Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately your imagination's not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with the theory. What would that problem be? The same problem it's always been, evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? I remember in the original, this took me a while, not the original, the first time I played this took me a while to figure out, but now I know where it is. Mostly because I was thinking of like how wheelchairs like normally look like, and I couldn't like fathom what the answer actually is, but you mean the conclusive evidence. The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof to be most precise. The murder weapon. The boss that the defense claim was used. Max Galactica's huge bazonga jugs. It was to be found in Acro's room. No, because it's on Max's chest. He said it's the murder. It was covered with the victor's blood. That would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. He's not in this room. It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know that the true meaning of one karma told justice. When did you ever said that phrase? I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You leave no stone unturned. Ow. A von karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's boss was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the boss wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective did come to execute the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. Ha ha ha. It looks like you like the final nail to put in my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that's relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Arrgh. Do something, Nick! Don't let his case slip away! The boss, where is it now? Where is the boss right now? You're Phoenix, right? You know where that boss is, I'm sure you do. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the boss is? It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. Ah! I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness. Hold it. Hold it from a who? Maya! Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. Huh? What? We need time to what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your age, isn't she? Like, at this point, it's not the first time Maya's pulled this. Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait. You can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That high acro's live his life up till now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If you don't, be certain to lose. Very well. The defense may proceed. Yeah, Maya come in clutch when you need to. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? Somewhere here! This took me so long to figure it out. I did a walkthrough. It's obvious, the bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bus once and for all. Someone's hiding it. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Huh? Ha ha ha. Once again, your passion for humor hit me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I mean, I don't really see a lot of wheelchairs shaped like that and also have undercarriage storage space. Which was why it didn't occur to me that the wheelchair could be where you hide something like a bus, especially something that heavy. Like, you wouldn't be able to move the wheelchair with something that heavy under it. So that's why it didn't occur to me for that to be a viable storage space or anything. But that's where it is. I think it's pretty amazing to get laugh in your position. However, your light-handedness doesn't change the fact that the bus is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Onkama happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you? You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them. Miss Francisca von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Validation? Never thought of it. There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? Oh. There were two pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. Brad! Hello! You've come in just as we revealed the murderer. You came in right at the ending, but hi, Brad. You're gonna explain how the murder happened. The murder's confessing. But the bust. Obviously, I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair, which doesn't make sense given how heavy it is. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon? There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. No, I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me, make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Alright, Brad, to catch you up, what has happened? 6 months before this situation, that guy Acro, he has a brother named Bat. Yes, I know. Their stage names. Regina, this like the daughter of the ringmaster, had like sprayed pepper on his brother's scarf, and the brother was like, "Hey, I'm gonna put my head in your lion." The lion sneezed, bit the brother's head. Acro fought, so he's in a coma. Acro fought the lion, so that's why he is paralyzed. And 6 months later, that guy tried to kill Regina, killed her dad instead, because he sent Regina a threatening note. Regina didn't clock it was for her. The dad figured it out, went in her place to a particular meeting time and got killed. That's what happened. Acro. Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the very big circus, Mr. Russellberry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All caught up. He might catch you up now. So, all my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he... I know, right? Trace attorney names. That's why he teased her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it, too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when I decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful. So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well? No, that's not what I mean. This is the calmest breakdown any murderer has had in the entire series. Everyone starts falling apart and he's just like, sad. I'm nothing but a murderer, that's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself, then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Ah, there we go. Max, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sure. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Well, in this universe, you have the death penalty for murder, so off he goes. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again. Spewing thing from your twinkle eyes is kind of just... Some people like fed up, like straight up like yell and scream and like animals come flying. Like that's the calmest anyone's ever broken down in court. I believe this case is not beyond any point of possible discussion. Does I just like to declare my verdict? Not guilty. And now, Jesus, he's tall. This court is adjourned. Also, like, Brad, you missed it, but like a lot of the earlier bits of this episode were like, how can you accuse Acro of being a murderer? He's in a wheelchair. He's disabled. Yes, just like young shirtless men just coming off Acro's eyes. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Disabled people can murder too. That's the lesson today, guys. Don't be ableist. Anyone can be murderers. Acro, the drink master, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them were a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question. And one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only a max of million on them. Thank you. Oh. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No, 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 no. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? Oh, there she goes. See, this is the level of breakdown that normally Ace Attorney villains have. She's been like this for a while now. It's all my fault! Oh, sweetie pie. Bad and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. That's your worry? Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does it mean that Acro? Is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? I mean... Probably not. Probably not. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure I can believe that? Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. That's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro. I want to get back. Well, your brother's alive. He might not be, but the brother is. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught. Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay nice and bad as long as it takes. I'll only open his eyes and then he can win Acro again. Yeah, that's like the one introduction again. Take that! Random guys, you tried to kill her alive. That's so sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Pat. Well, hopefully it is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'd pay your fee and rip up the contract. Damn. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to Circus now? Ah, that's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. I mean, we'll see about that. Max is union leader. I don't remember if he shows up. I think he comes out here. That's why I made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over the new ringmaster. I'll turn his circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Yay! I can wait. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician this world has ever seen. Max? Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? See, like it sort of comes out here a little bit, but it's more in the anime where he's like, I just want everyone to respect their art a little more. That's all he wants. It's just like, this is why everyone needs to race. They need to like be more motivated to make stuff. That's all. I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. So I think he just said, like, if none of you want to give a shit about the circus, then why should I stay? But it's like, oh, you're giving a shit? Great, cool, I'm staying. Regina, you're gonna have some too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? What did you think that I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been. Most right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry. Max. Nick! It seems like everything is going to turn out alright here. I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats. Oh, you failed already. Yeah. Oh, I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory, a game theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. Who is this? You mean Mr. Wright? Who could this be? Of course. Well, detective, my plane's about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the chief prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Dun! Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you. Mr. Edgeworth, he is alive. Edgeworth is alive. He left a fucking suicide note, but he is alive and coming home. Surprise! He is not dead. Dun! That's it for Justice for All, Max Galactica. Holy Sherlock, yep. Holy Sherlock indeed. So, Max Galactica is acquitted. He's not guilty. Miles Edgeworth is alive, despite leaving a note that was so suicide note sounding that everyone thought he was dead, and Phoenix did not want to hear his name ever again. Gumshoe knew somehow, and Gumshoe kept this a secret from everybody. Francisca, his adopted sister, did not even know this. Acro might be alive after all if Edgeworth can step in and interfere, because in the Attorney universe there is a death penalty. But it seems like Edgeworth might stop in and say, well, do not kill the guy. And that's the end of Justice for All. That's the end of our first magician case in the Ace Attorney series. Hurrah! Maybe one. I feel like I should do like a super edit of like all the Ace Attorney kind of episodes, like a proper YouTuber, Twitch streamer, etc. would. I haven't been keeping up the highlights or anything. You know, like make like little content for TikTok. But oh my god, editing is such a slog. Maybe one day, or if you guys have any Rex for editors, send them my way. I don't know if I can afford to pay them though. That's the problem. Anyway, so what are we going to do for the Sunday games next? Well, we have a couple of options. One, I figure out how to get this emulator to work on my PC. I need to like change a setting in my BIOS to get emulators to work on here. Because if we can get the emulator to work, we can go straight to the Apollo Justice series, because we will then get to meet Trucy. Trucy is an actual stage magician. And the Apollo Justice series in particular just has magic across the board. We will be sort of jumping through a few cases maybe, but you know, like there's a few stage magic cases over there. But hang on, let me just. It's gonna play. Yeah. It's let me get out. We don't need this. Or so that's one option, is that I figure out how to get an emulator. I have changed the BIOS setting. And then we get to Apollo Justice. There's a few magic cases on there. You have Trucy, so the magic is just like across the game, but there's also like a couple of cases that are more specifically magic related. So that's one option. The Great Ace Attorney also has one particular case that involves someone who's worked as a magic engineer. So that's also an option, but that's sort of like so endgame that it can be tricky, because it sort of sets up a lot of endgamey stuff. So that's an option. Or the other game that I thought we could do on the Sunday time slot is this game. Where are you? It's this game called Contrast. So Contrast, I've played like the first little bit of it. It's a game where it's set in kind of like, Brad, you might actually be into this game. It's set in kind of like a cabaret style environment. It has like an old timey feel to it. But the mechanic is that you can sort of change you're like sort of a person that can switch between like being corporeal, being shadow, as you can travel through the shadows. And your character, you know, you sort of looking after this little girl, and the little girl's mother is a cabaret singer. And there's sort of some shady stuff happening. You have to go investigate that. But the reason I was thinking this could be the next game is because when I was playing a little bit, and then you hit sort of after the tutorial stage, you hear this conversation with someone who's a stage magician, and I was like, ooh, I kind of want to see where this goes, but I didn't want to like play through it and spoil it. So I thought maybe, because again, cabaret related, lots of crossover with magic. I've got some cabaret experience, but kind of adjacent to it. Like I've done burlesque, and obviously like Trinity Magician, which is kind of like cabaret, like adjacent. Not so like I haven't done like necessarily a cabaret show, like seeing me, but so I thought that could be a next Sunday thing, and like I don't know anything about this game besides the little bit that I played. So it'll be new. It's very different kind of structure. It's kind of more like, it's a little platformy, but not entirely. But yeah, then we could probably talk about like that little like 1920s cabaret vibes with Brad. You're an expert on, I feel like. And just like what the stage magician can. He might be like a one-off for all I know. He might show up in one scene and that's it, we never see him again. But I don't know that yet. But he seems to be fairly important. But I don't know how much magic actually plays into this. But definitely cabaret. So we can play that. We'll play it from the beginning, so you go through the tutorial stages and you see what I mean. So I think that could be the next Sunday game. There's a little bit of a breather from the Ace Attorney stuff, and then once that's over, I don't know how long the game is, but and it's probably gonna be less like voice acting needed, because like the things are fully voiced, so I don't need to like try to do 5 voices at once. But yeah, that could be the next Sunday game. I could do that. Try something different. And like how old, I'm gonna just look up how old the game is. So like because I just saw it on my Xbox Game Pass. I'm like, that looks interesting. Contrast game. Because it looks old timey. Released in 2013. So the game is like 10 years old at this point. So it'll be a bit of a throwback. I do not know. Who knows? Like maybe this. Like it's on the Game Pass now, so I'm assuming like there might be some recent interest. It's on Google Play, so it's like a mobile game now. But yeah, the 1920s style jazz theme world. So yeah, let's do that Sunday games. So yeah, Sunday, 5 p.m. Melbourne time, which is UTC plus 11, and then Tuesdays I've been doing kind of a wild card. But no one ever shows up on the Tuesday. So part of me is just like, do I continue to do Tuesdays or give myself a break? I don't know. I'll think about it. I haven't decided. Like, we played Attorney Commits Tax Evasion. Both episodes are up on my YouTube now, youtube.com/creativestar. If you want to take a look at it. Might do something else. I don't know. Could be. There's a few games I kind of want to try, but they're not out yet. Then, if Dreamlight Valley updates, play that. Or Octopath Traveler 2, I'm really looking forward to. Raincoat, I want to look forward to, but yeah, they're not out yet. And then Thursdays, Genshin Impact, keeping that. Flock, you were here. I got the 5-star all hits, so that's pretty exciting. So yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays will be 7 p.m. Melbourne time. Still looking for work, and if I get work, probably be 9 to 5. That's why I time it that way. But if I get a different job that gives me different hours, I might change my schedule around. It's all up in the air. I'm thinking also of changing the layout of this a little bit. On the Sundays, because there's kind of more of you there, that chat box does get a bit more use. And I just got slightly too attached to like let me see if it works. Like, you probably can't see it, can you? But like, when someone like joins, I don't know if you can see this effect, because I see it on my end. A music plays, and then like blah blah blah. I got slightly too attached to this effect, but I don't think people really care. And a lot of people nowadays have like the screen be like a bigger part of whatever the streaming. So I might like shift the layout a little bit. I don't know. It's all work in progress. Kind of the benefit of being a very, 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 very tiny streamer is that you still have time to like move shit around and no one will care. So yeah, so that's the plan. I think I'll sign out now. My voice is dying. But yeah, I'll endeavor to catch up on the VODs at youtube.com/creativestar. I'm a fair bit behind. But I'll upload that. Maybe get some edits going. Like now that 50, like just for all, I can put together sort of a super edit. Where's my voice? Yes. You can find me on the internet at CreativeStar, most places, creative@ma.com if you're on Mastodon. Rest up. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye.